for the grand question.
Oh man, this is the hardest one. I don't even know how to answer this one.
Me neither. I love this question.
Where do you belong? Where do I belong?
Where do you belong? Okay. How do we decide where we belong? I used to think my answer would always remain the same. My family. Yet, as I got older, things have changed. I have changed. Now, all of the things that felt so bright and perfect may not be for me anymore. Solidifying oneself into one place or idea of belonging limits the various ways of existing. We cannot let expectations or standards stop us from believing that we cannot be any and everything we want. I now enjoy the journey of exploring who I am. Through people, through school, through work, through life, I am learning myself and uncovering answers to questions that circulate my head all of the time.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Kumani Ashabe. I'm a writer, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a person, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm non-binary. A lot of people don't know that about me. I'm me.
I don't know, it's like when you have the assignment in class when they're introducing yourself and they ask you like, tell us about yourself, and you kind of just sit there and stare at the blank paper realizing that you have no idea how to talk about yourself.
Exactly.
That's kind of like what I'm feeling right now. I'm Carson. I am a student at UNCG. I am a music journalist. I interview bands and I write about music. And I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
I mean, I think that answers the question perfectly.
Okay. Well, technically speaking, literally speaking, I come from Roxborough, North Carolina. The middle of nowhere. There's not much going on there. I think that's why I like being here so much, because there's a lot more going on. But more, not so literally speaking, I come from a very loving mom, I come from a very hardworking dad, and a very supportive family.
I love that. You know, I don't know. I put this in there because this is like a really hard question for me to answer. Because I was born in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My mom's family was from Connecticut, my dad's family was from New York. But I moved when I was like 3 to Charlotte, North Carolina, and that's where I grew up. But like a lot of my extended family is in like Connecticut, New York, and then I just was raised in Charlotte. So it's like most of like who I am comes from Charlotte, but a lot of like my family and just like where I feel like I should come from, I guess.
Right.
Is like up north. And I used to rep Connecticut all the time until eventually I was like, I'm not Connecticut. I don't know the last thing about Connecticut.
Yeah, that's
like I'm
understandable.
from Charlotte, and now I'm proud to say I come from Charlotte, I guess. But then also there's like freaking Africa. Like I also come from that. So like, you know, I don't know, but I think for now I can say Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. When are you most yourself? Well, honestly, I think when I'm alone. Like, when I'm alone, there's no impulse or thought or feeling or whim that I feel like I have to hide or cover up or like protect myself from or anything, because I'm the only one that has to deal with it. I'm the only one that has to perceive it. And I just love being alone because it's like nothing else matters, because no one else is there to ruin the vibe. And like, I think I like being alone, but then when I have to be like outside and alone, that's when I don't like being alone. It's like, I just start feeling isolated, like I'm by myself and everyone else isn't. But when I'm like in my room, fly attack.
That makes sense. I agree with that. I think that for me that comes back to being around people that accept me. Is like the other side of that is also when you're alone, you don't have to worry about judgmental people. So like you said, you never have to protect yourself from anything. You can just be the authentic version of yourself because nobody's watching.
Exactly.
Oh man, when I'm surrounded by people that let me be myself, really. I think that's like always been what it is for me. Growing up, somehow we keep getting back to like the small town thing, or where I grew up from, but growing up in a very small town, people are very judgmental. People, especially in a small southern town, very small traditional southern town, people are very one-dimensional, one-sided, and if you are a certain way, that doesn't necessarily benefit the image that everybody else has of the people that grew up there. You know, if you're like a little bit different, then people don't really let you express that. And so I never really like was able to be myself until I came here, where everybody was like loving and accepting. And then it's just like, it's weird because it was like a whole new version, I guess, of me came from going to college that I didn't even really know existed. So, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
What represents you best?
What represents me best? I think what represents me best is, I want to say three things. The art I consume, the art I create, and the people that I have around me. I want to say the art I consume because it's just like such a big part of my personality, especially being that I work as a music journalist that is entirely dependent on consuming music, consuming people's art. And I often, to find inspiration for my own creations, I, look to others, whether or not it be music or painting or movies, anything like that. And even like when I'm trying to figure out how to be a better interviewer, I might turn on Nardwar and watch him. But yeah, I think the art that I consume is a big part of it, and then the art I create, I think like there is nothing more personal than what you put out into the world. There is like no better depiction of yourself than what you show other people, like gift you give to other people. And speaking of other people, the people that you keep around you, the people that not only that you keep around you, because a lot of people will say that everybody knows that, your friends, who you're friends with, who you choose to be friends with says a lot about yourself. But I don't think people also don't understand that the people that you look up to, the like people you idolize, the artists that you follow, the like celebrities that you think are cool, that says a lot about yourself too. And like, it's just like people is just another outlet really for your expression. You find people that have a lot in common with you, and that's who you resonate with. You find people who stand up for what you believe in, and that resonates with you too, and that's people that you stick around with.
I think nature represents me best because I'm scared of being conscious. I think the worst thing about being a human to me, and like being alive, period, for me, has been how conscious I am of it all, and just like how much I care about things, how much I think about things, and just the way that I have to exist in my mind and outside in the world. It's just too much for me. So I think I would rather choose to just be nature and just exist out in the world and get to experience other people and other things without it having to be existential on you existing. And I really, really hope trees are not existential, because then like we're fucked.
Oh yeah,
like,
we are.
Then there's nothing that I would do. I would just choose to not exist. But yeah, I want to be nature. I think nature represents at least who I want to be.
How do you know yourself?
I've learned myself through living. You don't really know what you don't know. I love saying that. I tell people that all the time. Like, you just don't know what you don't know, But anyway, yeah, I think I've learned myself through living and just putting myself in situations where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this, so we're gonna figure it out by doing it, I was always told I was a social butterfly growing up, but I never felt like one because I was an introvert. It's just when I was like extroverted, I was a people person. Like, I knew how to fit in with other people. I just didn't always want to. So that was a thing. But yeah, like getting to know new people, doing new things, it's also scary. And I think this is the only way that I've been able to learn who I am, is by living and just seeing how I operate in all these different scary situations of life.
I know myself through trial and error. I feel like you can't really know yourself at any given point because you're always changing. Going back for the third or fourth time to like, I guess my experience with growing up is, in that small little hometown where people just aren't very accepting of differences. I thought I knew myself, and I thought I knew everything about me, but then I came to college and I became an entirely different person. It's like unrecognizable, the person I was before I got here, the person I am now. And I only got here less than a year ago, and I'm 20 years old, and 20 years old is very young, but 20 years is a very long time to get to know yourself. And that just like really goes to show that just don't really know yourself. You never think, you think you do, but you don't, because you're always changing. And so really the only thing that you can do, in my eyes, is be confident in yourself. Because who you are today may not be who you are tomorrow, but if you are a person who knows that whatever version of yourself you are in that moment is the best version of yourself that you can be, then that is truly what matters. Where do I belong? I think that I belong where I am right now. I think I belong anywhere that I want to be. I think that these places can be anything. These places can be this park bench that we're sitting on right now. It can be this college campus. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a physical place. It can be a concept. It can be a person. Some people might belong with a partner. Some people might belong with their friends. Some people might belong in a stable job in the house that they rent. And sometimes it can be like a state of being, a mindset. Like some people belong in happiness, some people belong in love. And I think the important thing is to remember that wherever you are, wherever it may be, a physical place or a concept or a belief, is that you just have to believe that that's where you're supposed to be, and that's what's important. You can belong anywhere, so long as you are confident that that place is for you. I am not a believer that there is a purpose in this life, but I believe that, I guess in a contradictory way, the purpose in life is to make your own purpose. There's no like overarching end-all thing that we're supposed to achieve. There's nothing that we're supposed to work towards other than our own happiness and our own goals that we set for ourselves. We come into this world a blank slate, and we just have to pave our own path the whole way. And the most important thing that you can do is be confident and believe in yourself and believe that where you are, where you want to be, and where you will be is what you deserve and what you need and what makes you happy.
Beautiful. I think we belong where we want to be, and I think inevitably we will belong where we will be, because there's nothing stopping us from making decisions to be where we want. And I think there are obstacles and there are going to be challenges that we'll have to face to be able to get to where we want to be. But I think at the end of the day, everyone has an idea of who they are, who their most raw selves are, who they are by themselves. I think everybody knows where they want to be, or at least an idea of where they should be. And without the judgment and noise of everybody else, I think everybody knows where they belong. And it's just a matter of being able to listen to that over where you think you should be, where you're being told to be, where other people are, and just being able to accept that where you belong is where you are.
Yay!
Yay!
That was really good. That was so good.